Doesn't matter.
That's what live recording's all about, babe.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Go there. And we're live.
We should have gone up and done a bit of a dance. What do you reckon?
I think we should have.
Yeah. So, how are you, James?
Can you speak up? I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me, can you? I'm sure you can. I'll just warm up and you'll begin to hear me really, really easily. How are you going tonight?
Oh, good, because now I just forgot to press live on my one.
Well, there you go. So we weren't ready to go anyway. Okay, guys. So here we go. We're ready to rock and roll. We are a little bit late tonight because we had a team call into New Zealand and we were discussing a Las Vegas. So we've just booked a trip into Vegas for our yearly conference, which is really exciting. So we'll be leaving. What month are we going?
May.
May this year. So another America trip. I think we talked about never going to America, but now this is like
fifth trip.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
if anyone's wondering why I've got water on my shirt, I had to wet my hair.
You have to pick up your appearances.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for jumping on our live tonight. It's really great to have you guys on, and we really, really appreciate whether you stay on for a little bit or whether you stay on for the entire call, or whether you come back and you watch the replay. And just to let you know that we do have our YouTube platform also that we've started. And, if you want to listen to it, while you're traveling in the car, and you don't have, necessarily the time to watch a Facebook Live, then please jump on to those platforms and, hop in and see what's going on.
And coming soon, podcast.
Podcast with a microphone. That would be exciting, eh? Yes. So, guys, we'd like to welcome you to our Get Healthy and Happy experience. My name is Kyla Toms.
And my name is Jason Toms.
Hello, Jason Toms. Nice to have you. So, Jason is my husband, for those that don't know me or know us. And we have been married for nearly 23 years. 23 years?
Yes, this August.
Yeah, and started dating 2 years before we got married. So 25 years we've been together. Insane, hey? And I annoy him heaps and heaps and heaps, and he annoys me too, but it's all good. Okay, so we're bringing you this weekly call to help bring you the tools, the insight, the inspiration, the motivation that you may need to live a life that you love. We discuss how you can improve your health, how you can lose weight. So if you're on tonight and you are wanting to lose weight, or you want to get a little bit healthier, then you're in the absolute right place. If you do live with a mental illness, or you are in a network marketing business or social media business online, then we're the people for you to be a part of our lives. We talk honestly, we talk openly, and we come to you with the truth as to what it is that we might be going through or what we've been experiencing, like I said, health, fitness, and also in business. So we want to bring you this each week, so that we can help you to live the best life that you can in a highly pressured world. And we know that this world is just getting more and more pressured. Jason, what was it you mentioned to me about Apple and Oprah Winfrey a couple of weeks ago? What's going on with these guys?
So last week, or whenever it was, Apple released that they're going to be doing their own TV show, so like Netflix and Stan and all that. And one of their major contributors is Oprah, and she's going to be having a program, or one of them, all about depression and how it is an epidemic in today's society, and that she really wants to try and help people in that area. So, yeah, definitely seeing some changes there.
Yeah. Cool. So Apple and Oprah Winfrey are teaming up, which is awesome. Hey, Michelle, nice to have you on. Kimberly, thanks everyone for being on our social media platforms. Again, we're talking, live about health, fitness, mental illness, and also social media with business. And so if you know of anybody that has any of these things that they would like to know more about in their life, then please share our lives or our Facebook platforms with these people. That would be super cool. So we're going to talk to you about a couple of topics tonight. So I've got my notes so that I can stay a little bit closer. Hey, you going, Judith? Nice to have you on. So we are going to talk firstly about marriage. What do you reckon? Let's dive into marriage.
Love and marriage.
So for anyone that's in a relationship, being married, or on the verge of going your separate ways. That's what we'd love to talk to you about tonight. So we know that the pressures that we all face in this world are fairly high level, especially when it comes to making a living, paying bills, bringing in an income, making sure that you do something that, is nice for each other, because you don't always have the time, or you don't always have the financial, you don't always have the income to be able to do that. So Jason and I, like I said to you, we come to you real and raw, and we wanted to talk to you about, we're just going to touch on, we're not going into huge details, but, for Jason and I, we probably over the last few weeks have felt a little bit more pressure lately, probably more financially, and, like with, business and, just different bills that come through. Sometimes you can get swamped with a whole lot of stuff altogether. And, we probably got into a little bit of a dispute which had nothing to do with money, nothing. It was just that you had said something to me, and I didn't take too kindly to it, and it's gone on for a little bit longer than what it normally does, eh?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you put that down to, and what would you share with couples that are going through something? Like, how do they get through it, or how do they break through the stubbornness, or what would be your advice for a man maybe that's just like so angry and frustrated that you could offer someone tonight?
Oh, first thing is that us blokes are stubborn, and we don't like to say sorry. Straight up.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I know, and that's what kind of frustrates me a little bit, and I think that's probably what's dragged out the most.
As much as we want to.
Yeah.
It's
so you do want to.
Yeah.
I'm like, why can't you just say sorry for what you said? And he's like, I sent you a text message. I'm like, but that's not sorry. That's not like saying sorry to me. I'm sorry, wifey. I'm really sorry. So, I've been the annoying one and one harassing him, because I've just been like so annoyed by him, that I wanted to, so your advice would be, or your tips from your side of
if you're in the right place, just, straight up say sorry straight away, even if you don't think you should say sorry. Just say it.
No.
Get it over and done with.
No, girls, who agrees with me? Like, it can't be just that you say sorry because we are annoying you to say sorry. Like,
no, I don't mean that.
Yeah.
I mean, just like, don't let it keep dwelling on it, because if you keep dwelling on it and keep like a pressure pot, it will get to a point where it will explode, and you don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
And, so it's just a matter of, there's that always saying, don't let the sun set. And that is so true. But, in different cases, sometimes you need to sit back and think about what you're going to do and say in that. But in most cases,
don't let it go on for too long, eh?
But even a bunch of flowers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's been a while. So I love that you said that. Don't let the sun set without solving or resolving an issue. In a perfect world, that would be amazing to be able to do that and say, I wish that we could turn around and say we did resolve it in like 24 hours. We didn't. No. It was a few sunsets, and, it was more sunsets than it should have been. And I think, so what I want to get across tonight is that you can let things fester, and it can really start to build up in you. And then you start to think about, old arguments or things that have happened, and you bring up the past, and it really, like you said, it can come like a boil, and it can burst, and things can happen, or people say things that they don't mean. And, that's why relationships or marriages break up, because they've not worked through a problem. And, us talking about it, it's like we've been together for nearly 25 years. I'm who I am today because of who you have, helped me to become. And
I am because of how you've helped me to become.
I didn't stage that, but that's so nice of you to say that. And to not be together would just be absolutely devastating. So we let sometimes the smallest of issues, interfere in a marriage, and it just the big pressures of life come in, and they can cause things to just go totally their own way. So, hey Santa, nice to see you on. So we just wanted to say to you tonight that from experience, and why we have stuck it out together for so long is because we really do try to work out our issues as quickly as we can. And, there's no perfect marriage at all. And if anyone, even if there's anyone on tonight and you would tell us that you don't fight, I kind of find that really hard to believe in some ways, because if you're really honest with each other, you would be like super open and talk about anything. And if you're two different people, you're not going to always agree on the same thing.
No, and that's the thing when two people come together, it's, two different backgrounds. You may have the same likes and goals and aspirations that you want to do together, but you're still coming from two different backgrounds and two thought patterns.
So I've got written down here, don't be stubborn, like sort it out and move on. And, like don't bring up the past. I remember years ago, who's watched Dr. Phil? Who's into Dr. Phil? Years ago, I remember him saying, don't rehash the past. Like, don't bring up things that were from the past. And so many relationships you hear that's what they fight over, past relationships, past girlfriends, past boyfriends, past this, past that. And they keep on dragging up, the old rubbish that doesn't need to be, like put between a couple. And I know that that's easier said than done, but you can train yourself to say, like that does not serve our relationship. And life is hard enough without having to bring all of that old stuff back on and, like belittle each other from some of that, from some of those hard times. So I think you've always got to go back and like look at each other and think, find that love, find that passion. And, like the love is different, from when you first got together. Like I remember, I think I was reading something during the week or heard a podcast or something, and they were saying, we just don't pash like we used to. And I was like, I haven't heard that word for so long. But, what's it like to, connect lips again? And, like, I don't know. We're not going too much into that. But, I think that we really miss, that engagement because we're either on social media, we're watching TV, we're pressured by life, we're worried about raising money, kids, raising children, doing all that stuff. So don't be stubborn. Work it out. As a man, don't be stubborn. And as a woman, we need to, really watch our core as well and make sure that we have a forgiving heart and, move on. Go out, have a couple glasses of wine, break the argument and,
Make it a date night.
Make it a date night, exactly. Okay, so let's move on to, another topic, which is I'm going to talk a little bit about health today. And I'll talk to you about, the last few weeks myself. I've really, really struggled. And I'll just tell you what I've struggled with. I've struggled with unusual tiredness, low energy, weakness, cranky, shortness of breath, heart palpitations, dry hair and skin. And some of these other things, just what happens with this side of, with what's happened or what I've been going through. So swelling and soreness of the tongue. My tongue's always swollen because I talk so much. Restless legs. I have super restless legs, like real sore, achy legs, and they can be worse at times. Brittle nails, strange cravings, feeling anxious, cold hands and cold feet. And you can have like frequent infections. So some of those things have been my symptoms. So what could it possibly be? So have you faced any of those things? Like, are you feeling lethargic? Are you feeling unusually tired? And I saw a picture today with a girl like down like this on her laptop, at a desk. And, it was just like, you can't even hold your head up. And I just said to Jason, like I went to bed last week for like 2.5 hours and had to sleep. My eyes were as black as anything. And I just couldn't like snap myself out of this like really tired patch. It wasn't real nice, was it?
No.
And then I got cranky at you because you took a photo of me and I looked so trashy. She's like, but I just do it because you look cute in bed. And I was like, I look terrible. So what could this be? Well, I'm going to give you a simple solution, but you would need to go to the doctor, obviously, and get a blood test for it. And that blood test is really important. And not all doctors do it. But it is, an iron test, your vitamin B12, vitamin D, your thyroid, so things like that need to be checked up on, especially, even if you don't have to live with a mental illness like depression or anxiety, but if you are just unwell, you've been on a lot of antibiotics over your life, you have kind of not real good gut health, then, this could be what is affecting you. So it could be a low iron. Yep. It's as simple as that. And, a couple of days of taking a really good iron. And I don't mean one from a pharmacist. I mean going to a health food store and getting a really good iron supplement. So you can take a really beautiful, I think it's called, I can't remember what it's called, but it's in a glass bottle and it's actually a vegan one, and you just take it in liquid form and it's beautiful, but I think it's only got 10 mg. I can't remember how you say it, but 10 percentage of iron, whereas the one that I got is like 23. And this one's a bioceutical. It costs about, I think it's like $17.95, and you'll just take that for a period of time. But you do need to get blood tests, and you need to make sure that your iron is low. And the funny thing is, like in Western medicine, and according to Australian standards or New Zealand standards or wherever you might be in the world, a doctor might take your iron and go, "Oh, you're okay." But to a doctor that is like into natural and Western medicine, they might say to you, actually, it's a little bit low, and we recommend that you do have a supplement. You might need to have an infusion of iron. I've had a few infusions in my life. I had a few on my butt, which left a like kind of coloured disfigure, like a bruise thing, like for nearly 2 years on my left butt cheek. So, just talk about where your infusion is. If you're going to have an iron infusion, maybe put that into your arm instead of into your bottom, and you will feel like really quickly, it'll get into your system and it will boost your energy levels.
And on that note, as you can see, Kyla is the family PT and food nutrition coach, so she really does know her stuff on that side of things. I just go, I'll do that.
Yeah, and when you say that, well, I'm definitely passionate about food and what we do put into our mouths. So, I should have cottoned onto that a little bit earlier. And people might say, yeah, but you don't eat meat. But you do eat meat. Whenever I get tested for iron, when I was eating meat, my iron was always still low. So it doesn't necessarily mean because you eat meat or not eat meat that your iron's going to be like perfect. Yep. It could be just, you might have heavy periods. You might just not, save iron in your system. So you just need to top up. So just being aware of that. So you can eat iron-rich foods, and those iron-rich foods are seafood, which is cool. So you can have oysters. Oysters are great for other things, right? Red meat, dark green veggies, dried fruit, which includes raisins and apricots, beans, peas, pulses. So our protein shakes that we have or that we use regularly, is great because it's pea and rice protein. Yep. So we're getting some iron in that as well. Seeds and nuts. And also, like I said, you can supplement. The only thing is that when you do have an iron supplement, it is good to have it with vitamin C so that your body does absorb it a little bit better. So that's pretty cool, eh? Okay. And some of the foods that can inhibit you absorbing iron into your system is things like tea and coffee. So if you're a big coffee drinker, you need to be very careful with that. So I have cut out coffee out of my life for the last couple of years just due to how it makes me feel. So living with depression, I find that I have like a bit of a spike and I come really low and I get really tired after I've had coffee. So I just stay away from caffeine. That's just a personal choice. And, whereas you like coffee. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I do. I probably drink too much of it.
You don't tell me that you do. Yeah. We're going to have our vices right in life. So you're not a big alcohol drinker, so a bit of coffee here and there, but, still being careful and being careful that, we're not having too much dairy in our food, in our diet as well, because that can also inhibit the consumption or the iron coming into our system as well. So the other thing is I want to mention about pooping, my pooping subject. So this is one of my favorite topics, guys. So is your poop. So, you can't tell me that in the mornings or whenever you go to the bathroom that you don't take like a little sneaky look over your right shoulder and, say, yes, I had success today. So one of the things that you're looking for is fluffy floaties or stinky sinkies. And if you've all got stinky sinkies, then, you really need to, more on a serious note, if you are looking at your health and, wanting to improve that, then you would need to have a look at your diet. And one of the things just why it led me onto poop was because if you're taking an iron supplement, it can actually darken your poop and you can think, oh, what's going on? It's like if you have like a heap of beetroot, you think, oh my goodness, I'm bleeding. What's going on? It's just the food that you're consuming too can change, what's going on in your digestive tract and happen whatever comes out the other end. So
if they're nice and fluffy and they're floating on top, that means you're
healthy. Like your diet's great. Whereas if they're stinky sinkies and it's like you're like, oh my goodness, it's definitely looking at what we should be not or maybe having in our diets. So the last topic that I'd love to go over is goals. So talking about goals. And again, I've been listening to this incredible book, and my whole life of coaching and mentoring people in the weight loss industry has always been talking to them about achieving mini goals. And when I say mini goals, I mean the most bite-sized goals ever. And that has been something that's played a huge part in my life by keeping my weight off, and also by living with a mental illness, being able to get up and keep going on the days that I'm able to. So how do I do that? So my first mini goal is to get out of bed in the morning. I know it sounds ridiculous to some people, but that is a goal for me. Like, that really is like a tick off goal. So what I want to say about goals is that we hear, guys, let me know in the comments if you can and you'd like to, or give us a thumbs up if you're watching, or hey Cassie, thank you so much. Is that if you have ever heard of the phrase think big? Have you heard that?
Yes.
Or dream big. Like, dream big, think big. And, sometimes a part of the industry that we're involved is always about, find your passion, dream big, think big. And let me know if you're a bit of a deep thinker or a big deep thinker, sometimes when you think big or you dream big, it's too big, and you get so stopped in your tracks because it's too big. Like, you just go, well, I can't move because I'm paralyzed. And because you want to do things perfectly, you're fearful of moving forward because you want to you're a perfectionist. And so having these thoughts of dreaming big and having these think bigger actually ends up being paralyzing.
Or you could be the other way and you just be a daydreamer and just daydream and do nothing. All you do is dreaming.
Yeah.
And not actually making any action.
Yeah. So that's a little bit opposite, isn't it? So if you are a perfectionist and you are thinking too big and you feel like you are a bit paralyzed, then maybe tonight after I've said this, you might go, oh my goodness, that's why maybe I'm not achieving what it is I want to in my life, because I'm paralyzed by the thought of my goal being so big. So in this book, this woman speaks about having little brick size goals, and she uses this most amazing example of a guy that's a school teacher, and he wants to open up a winery, but he's just so overwhelmed by how big of a task this is to open up a winery, and he's really not had a lot to do with wine, but that's his ultimate goal. And so what she says is you need to break that down into such small goals. And anyway, he wrote her a letter or got in contact with her again after they'd been through their coaching session. And he said, you're never going to believe this. He goes, I've got a part-time job that fits with my school job. He's 37 years of age. And I'm working with this woman that's got this beautiful little wine cellar. She's going to take me to New York and, introduce me to a couple of wine places. And, he started off with his dream that he's got, but he's got these little goals in place as to keep going along and find out what it is. So if he keeps progressing forward, of course the end goal is going to be that he opens up his wine bar, isn't it?
Yep, exactly. That's instead of going wine bar, big goal straight up here and trying to get everything all sorted out and looking at logistics and everything, you would, as you said, you would get so overwhelmed and not follow through with your project.
Absolutely. So the other thing is what I want to say is that she talks about finding your passion. Find your passion, guys. What's your passion in life? And I'm like, it's killing me because I'm like, I can't find my passion. I don't know about you guys, but I lost that. And now I know why, because she talks about passion as being an emotion. And, I'm passionate about getting on here. I haven't found a passion, but I'm passionate about what I deliver. I'm passionate about talking about food. I'm passionate about talking about weight loss. I'm passionate about talking about depression. But it's not that I have specifically found this passion. And I think that we get a bit lost because we're all searching, for that dream big or that passion in life. But what she talks about is, setting these small goals or biting off these small little bricks. And as you continue along the way, your passion is growing for what it is that you're doing. And I just thought that was super cool, and it just puts it into such a better perspective for me. So I hope that if that is you and you can relate to that, then I think it's just an amazing way of looking at it. So guys, if you can't find your passion, then don't worry about that. Just find what it is. I've got here, find where your energy comes from and increase what you're doing from where the energy comes from. And if you're being depleted of energy and you're not happy with what it is that you're doing, then you might need to restructure and find out what it is. Open yourself up and get curious about yourself and find what it is that you want to go towards and move forward in your life. So that's what I thought. Like, it's just so much better than, having all of these things that you keep thinking, I mustn't be dreaming big enough. Because like, people, when they say they want the $1 million house, or they want the car, or, what if those things aren't what people necessarily all want? Like,
there's a difference between wanting something and needing something. And sometimes the want is, so you really need to sit back and go, what is it you really want to?
You desire,
because everyone wants that. But, you've got to step back and go, what's your,
And you might have a vision board and you think, okay, I've got the big house and I've got the beautiful car and I've got the dream boat. But when you start to strip it all down, is it really what you want? Like, my dream is just to, if we could pay off our mortgage, who would love to pay off your mortgage? Like, that would just be like, I don't care about the big boat or the beautiful car. Like, to pay your mortgage off, like, that would be like, that's a dream goal. But how am I going to get there? Like, I need to have, these brick-sized goals to get myself to, or get us to, paying off that, mortgage. So,
well, if it is the big boat that you do want, how are you going to get there if you want that big boat?
Well, you got to start off on a small boat.
That's right.
Isn't it? I mean, remember that time we saw that guy driving that big 50-foot Riviera, and he couldn't even, anchor it properly, and it kept drifting and, like, knocking into boats. And, like, you've got to start off realistic so you know what you're doing. And that's the thing. So realistic. So I thought, some of those tips, I hope that they, helped you. And, I definitely think that, whatever it might be in your life, whether it be weight loss that you're wanting, you might be, 10, 15, 20 kilos, you have to break that down into bite-sized goals, because if you consistently keep thinking, I've got that 20 kilos to go, you're going to lose your motivation, very quickly in the piece. And you're going to lose that motivation. You're going to go back to what it was exactly that you were doing, because your goal was too big to start off with. So, it's nice to have, like, the thought of that. Sorry, hon, I'm putting my hand in your face. It's good to have that, that goal. But again, you need to break that down, and so it's not so overwhelming, and it doesn't stop you in your tracks. So, again, if you're a big thinker, or you think deeply, and you know that you're not moving forward in your life, then you need to just think about, okay, what is it that why am I not moving forward? Why am I not losing the weight that I want to? What is it that I'm doing? And then that's where that, personal development definitely comes down to it. And
100%.
That book, again, I'm going to drop it back in here, is Mel Robbins. And, it is an amazing book. So I'll put the link up into this this live as well. So that's pretty much it. That's it. So that's what I was going to, touch on tonight. Unless you had something else that you were going to talk about, huh?
No, you've done it all. Thanks again. Thank you for
bringing
out those points. But again, as always, we ask if you could share whatever platform you are watching us from. If you could share it with 3 people, because we really do love to expand our network and connect with people that find us interesting.
Absolutely.
I know that we're not going to, tick everyone's boxes, but I'm sure we'll be able to, connect with some of you. So, but also our YouTube channel. Yes, we've just started doing that. So I've uploaded a few of them, but also we are going live on our YouTube channel right now. And but we'll put the link up to that. But all you'd have to do is search for Jason and Kyla Toms on YouTube, and you'll come across our. So far, this is our 9th episode.
Unbelievable!
So
I can't believe it.
We've been doing this. We've been doing in our online business for the last 4 or 5 years now, but actually getting more so into our social media side just recently. So But thanks again for everyone. jumping on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being on. And again, you know, like we want to come to you real, raw and honest. And, you know, we're talking to you about health, fitness, business, mental illness, and just living in this crazy, crazy world that we're all a part of. And just being able to, you know, sift through some of the pressures and be able to keep going and come to you with, you know, some of the things that honestly happened to Jason. Well, we can't come completely honest because you might go, oh my goodness, everyone's got some stuff in their closets for sure, but we'll share with you as, you know, much as we can. So, yep, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us on this Get Healthy and Happy experience. And like Jay said, if you can share it, that would be amazing. If you've got any constructive criticism or feedback, advice. If you've got any constructive advice, please send that through to us privately. That would be super cool. And let us know what it might be. And if you've got any topics that you would like us to share or talk about, then please let us know as well. If we are not your audience, then that is perfectly fine. We just want to thank you for popping on and popping off and being there as well. We really, really do appreciate it. And if you do see us down the street or somewhere in the world, come and tap us on the shoulder. You know, it will be always beautiful to meet you and, you know, connect with you as well on a person-to-person basis. We quite often have people stop and talk to us and say that they've met us or they know us through social media, and that's always fun as well. So, again, we thank you so much. Thank you for inspiring us to be better and do better, and we will see you at the same time, same place next Monday night. Thanks, everyone. Bye.